Hi, welcome to our video tutorial. In this video tutorial, we'll see how to implement for loop and while loop in our JavaScript application. So let's create a new file. Right click, new HTML file. Now for loop and while loop statements, no space. Okay. Okay. So in this example, what we are going to see is we'll see how to print or how to write texts multiple times. So that's what loop is about. Okay, if you want to do something multiple times repetitively, we can use loop statements. It can be a for loop or it can be a while loop. Both will work. The only difference between them is a syntax difference. So first, let's see how we can use for loop to print some value multiple times. Okay, so let's write our script tag first. Okay, now since I'm writing this in a body, I don't have to write function. I can use document.write to display the text in my HTML content rather than showing in alert as we have been doing in the previous tutorials. So right now what I'm going to do is let's say we want to display numbers from 1 to 5. So without using for loop, what we can do is we have to write all of them like this. So if I want to write 5 times, then I have to write document.write 5 times. If I want to do this 100 times, then I have to write 100 document.write statements. Okay, let's see what this will do for me. So let's open our HTML file. So there you go. It prints all the numbers from 1 to 5. Just like I told it to. So let's write a line break here. That will separate each of the numbers in a new line. So let's refresh this. So this is what we have. Now, this is one way of doing it. But there has to be a better way, a better and efficient way of printing this kind of document in our JavaScript. So what we can do is we use for loop. For opens here and closes here. So in this parenthesis, since we are implementing a loop, loop means as we have said before, it's used to work on repetitive tasks. So we have to specify when to start, what is the startup criteria, what is the startup point, what is the ending point, and also the progress. How am I going to reach from start to end? So all the 3 criteria has to be defined in this parenthesis. So what I'm going to do is create a variable called, let's say, I equals 0. So which means I will assign 0 to I after declaring the variable, which means the variable is already initialized at 0. So the starting point is 0. And now I have to specify the stopping criteria. The stopping point is I less than 5. Okay, to represent this, I should start from 1 and should go to less than or equal to 5. Now, how is the progress? I equal to I plus 1, which means I is incrementing by 1. Now we will add this one line, and in here I'll say print I. We don't need all this now. It's all being covered. Okay, now let's refresh our document. It's the same. Let's make it till 10. Now when I refresh, it's up to 10. So I can do repetitive tasks easily using for loop. This is how to implement for loop. Exactly, we can use while loop as well. So right here we can implement while loop too. Since we're using while loop, there is a little syntax different, but still, since it's a loop, it still needs the 3 criteria: starting point, ending point, and progress. How am I going to reach from start to end, of course. So in the for loop scenario, we have defined all the 3 parameters inside for loop parentheses. In case of while loop, there is a simple difference here. I have to specify the startup criteria before while loop. So starting point, a variable called starting point, or let's call it just value, starts from 1. Now inside while parentheses, I have to specify the criteria, the stopping point, I less than or equal to 20. Now while loop starts from this brace and ending brace, so inside the middle everything is going to be duplicated. Now let's copy this one, paste it. So since I have no I here, it has to be value. Okay, now let's refresh our code. Okay, now our application is stuck. Let's close our JavaScript browser. The problem is we have defined the starting point. We also have a stopping point, but there is no increment, or there is no progress. Why value equal to 1? Value is always 1, because there is no place that I told JavaScript to increment value by anyone, by any value. Okay. So I have to specify that. Here in the for loop, we have said I equal to I plus 1. I increments by 1. So right here, I have to say value equal to value plus 1 or value plus 2 as I want. Now let's try our file again, our HTML. This is our code. 1 to 10 is from our for loop, and from 1 to 20 is from our while loop. Okay, so this is how we easily implement for loop and while loop in our JavaScript code. So this is it. So thank you for watching for our video tutorial, and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube video channel for future video notifications. Thank you very much.